All right, so here we have another purchase order for Atlas Coffee. So here we are ordering some coffee, right? How many pounds of each coffee are we buying?
125 each.
So giving a total of 250 pounds worth of coffee for a total cost of $362.50. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that in our purchase order. And this is to Atlas Coffee Importers. Okay, we're buying 250 pounds of coffee. Okay. And the estimated amount is for $362.50. Okay. Now we need to keep track of this because it's important, because that's our inventory that we are going to be receiving. Okay, so it's important that we make sure that we receive our coffee. Okay. So then let's see what happened next. What did we receive on Monday, June 10?
We finally received our brewer and grinder.
We finally received our brewer and our grinder. Okay. So let's see what is going to be the total amount and what is my total cost, etc., etc. Now in this case, right, what I want you to do here is I want you to post this to miscellaneous suspense, because down below, right, we need to do some extra fixtures to the coffee grinder, right? We need to have additional work such as electrical work, and we need to build a foundation for the coffee grinder. So in this case, right, what I want you to do is I want you to put this whole entire amount into miscellaneous suspense. Okay? But I do want you to recognize this key factor here is how much is my coffee brewer and how much is my coffee grinder. Okay? So if I'm going to be dumping this into miscellaneous suspense, I want you to make sure that you understand that we're dumping the whole entire amount in there. Now in this case, right, I'm quoted for $3,806.02, right? Right here I have another prepaid amount, or my down payment, applied to my invoice to bring me a grand total of $2,634.15. Okay? So here, let's take a look at what our items include. Okay? So here we have a coffee brewer and a coffee grinder. Okay? And here's the amount of tax that was applied on it, was $297 worth of tax. Okay? So in this case, right, all I want you to do right now is just put everything into miscellaneous suspense, because we have some more figurations that we have to calculate as well. Right? So it is June 10, right? We're going to drop this whole entire amount into miscellaneous suspense, right? Which is account number
1999.
19990, right? And here we are going to make this payment later, right? Because we're also given some terms, right? We're going to get a 1% discount if we pay within 15 days. If not, the whole thing is due in 30 days. Okay? So therefore, I'm not paying it now, I'm paying it later. So, accounts payable. And I'm redeeming my down payment, which in this case, right, we wrote the down payment, which we placed it into our prepaid accounts. Okay? That was our very first down payment that we placed into our prepaid accounts. Okay? In this case, it was 1/3 of the price, which was $1171.87. So therefore, how much do I actually owe? What's my total bill that I owe?
$2,634.15.
That is correct. So therefore, that means my total miscellaneous expense is going to be equal to these two numbers combined, which gives me a total of $3,806.02, which gives me my total before I redeemed my $1,171.87 worth for my down payment. Okay, good. Right. Now here you have all the information that you need, right? You received this finally from Hallie Rose. Okay. This was invoice number 351. Okay. We have terms. We get a 1% discount if we pay within 15 days. If not, we must pay the whole thing in 30. And it's up to you if you want to put brewer and coffee grinder. In this case, the invoice is good enough to give us all the details in this. Okay. Okay. So that's my journal. Since we're already here in my journal, I'm going to now update my purchase orders because now I actually finally received my coffee brewer and coffee grinder. And it was for invoice number 351. Okay. So now I'm just pending only one purchase order, which is my coffee. And that's the only thing I'm waiting for to receive. Okay. So here's my journal. Now let's go ahead and pop this information into my ledger. Okay. So first thing is miscellaneous suspense. Right? So once again, I told you to put that in miscellaneous suspense. Okay? Because we have a few more things that we have to put together for my coffee grinder. Okay? So again, we received it on June 10. Okay? Now, in this case, what I'm going to note here is I'm going to be very specific on how much my coffee grinder is for and how much my coffee brewer is for. So in this case, let's take a look here. We got $2,266, right? We need to multiply that by the 8.25% to make sure that we get our total amount of total amount that we are going to calculate the tax for. Okay, so here 2266 is the coffee brewer. Coffee grinder is $1249.95. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my little work spreadsheet here because at the end of the day, we're going to have to separate these expenses later on. So in this case, what I'm going to do is on the side of this, right, I know that I have a coffee brewer and a coffee grinder, but I'm going to make a note here on how much that coffee brewer is going to cost me. So here's the 226, right? We're going to go ahead and multiply this by the 8.25% because that's the tax. Okay? And this was how much was the coffee grinder? It was for a total of $1249.95. $1249.95. Okay. Okay, which gives us a total of $3,015.95, which is exactly what we have on our little bill here. Now we need to calculate the tax on there. Okay, so here's this one. Now the tax on this one's going to be this times 0.0825, which then gives me a grand total of $290.07, right? Now, but listen here. I have split penny once again. I have this for, actually, no, I don't have a split penny. So here I have it for 95, 186.95 plus 103.12. 5 plus 2 is 7. So this should equal out perfectly. Okay. So there you go. That means right there, $290.07 is my tax, and that's exactly what is written here, that it's $290.07. So there you go. Therefore, I'm going to add these up. Okay. So therefore, I have 3806.02, which is exactly what I am looking for. Okay. Okay. So that is what each asset is worth. So my coffee brewer, right, is for $2,452.95, and my coffee grinder is $1359.07. So I'm going to go ahead and make that note right here into my actual ledger account here. Okay, so I'm going to say that I have a coffee brewer for $24,592.95, and then I have my coffee grinder for a total of $13,503.07. Okay. And if I just put that in right there, so that means when I do calculate my total amount for my coffee grinder and my coffee brewer, at least I know what these are separately with the tax included, right? General Journal number 3, once again, we're still on page 3. And I'm going to increase my miscellaneous expense by $3,806.02, right? Which then that's going to increase me on the positive debit side for the $3,806.02. Okay? All right, so this is me separating my costs automatically and including the tax on there. So that means my coffee brewer and my coffee grinder have two separate costs. Okay? And at least I know what that is under this whole entire line of the 308602. Okay? Now that we have that, we got to go to accounts payable because now I owe more money. So accounts payable, June 10, invoice number 351. General journal number 3, and this time I'm going to be increasing my credit by $2,634.15. Okay, which now brings my liabilities all the way up to $11,863.90. Okay. Now the last account that I need to use is going to be my prepaid because now I'm going to redeem my voucher. I'm going to take that voucher and I'm going to apply it against my bill. So in this case, back to assets, and if you just scroll a couple up, you should find your prepaid accounts right there. And this time, like I've mentioned before, I'm going to go ahead and say down payment applied to invoice number 351. And then, once again, this was general journal number 3. And this is going to be credited for the $11.71 and 87 cents. Okay. Which then is now going to bring my account back down to $6,654.17, which we know to be our prepaid insurance, our prepaid rent, and that's it. Okay. All right. So here we're redeeming our prepayments or our down payments, and we're applying it to our invoice. Okay. Last thing that we now have to encounter is going to be recording the bill for Haley Bros. Okay, so here we are, Haley Bros. Okay, it is now June 10, right? Same thing here, you could say we bought a coffee grinder for that 2,400 and what was it? 2,450 50 so 50 $52.95, and then we have the coffee grinder for the price of $1,353.07. Okay. This time our purchase order, our invoice number is 351. We know this because we received it, and it was on general journal number 3. In this case, we were actually given terms, right? My terms was 1% discount if I pay within 15 days. If not, the whole bill is due in 30. So 1%, 15, net 30, right? 30 days. I have 30 days to pay it off. Yes. So if I have, in order to meet the discount period, right, I have 15 days to pay. So in this case, My discount period is going to be 15 times 15 plus 10 days, or the 10th of June, which is going to be giving me the 25th of June, right? If not, I'm going to pay 30 days later, so therefore it's going to be due on July 10. Okay. All right, QuickBooks is very smart. It actually takes a calendar and calculates the exact amount of days. So if you're in February, it's going to recognize that there's 28 days in February. Okay. Prepaid amount was for the 1171.87. The total bill amount was 380602. Okay, which then gives us a grand total of 2634.15, which is the exact amount on my actual bill that I received, right? Here it tells me that I had the bill for a total of $3,806.02. The prepayment applied, or the down payment applied, for the $1,000 $1,000, and then here is my total amount that I owe to this bill, which is $2,634.15. So right here, that's how I apply an account's prepaid account to a bill to get a result amount of how much I actually owe. Okay. All right. Any questions here?
Give me a second to catch up, and then you type grinder on both of the descriptions.
Yes. Right? Just so that we know, because at the end of the day, we're going to have to split those two assets apart anyway. So it's better that you calculate it now beside than doing it later on.
Yeah, but one was a brewer and another was a grinder, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions here? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and continue on. Okay. So there we have this one, right? We need additional fixtures to be done on the coffee grinder and electrical work, right? We have to build a foundation, and we have to do electrical work. Okay. All right. So then that very same day, what did we receive here? Looks like we received another bill. What is this bill for?
For freight.
It's for freight, delivery charges, okay? All right. And here, assume that we're going to put 50% on the coffee brewer and 50% on the coffee grinder. They probably weigh the same, all right? So if they weigh the same, then you split the cost directly in half. Now, what are my terms?
Cash on delivery.
Cash on delivery, COD for short, okay? So what does that mean? That means I have to pay cash for this delivery, okay? So if that's the case, right, the best way we're going to do is we don't have cash on hand, right? We didn't create a petty cash fund. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and write Valley Delivery Services a check, all right? So here we are, same day, 7/6/10. Okay, and how am I going to place this freight charge? where am I going to place this freight charge?
Well, I see down below it's miscellaneous expense, but wouldn't you put it into freight?
Okay, so freight, right? That one's more particular towards inventory, okay? Now,
Oh, gotcha.
but if you do want to do it this way, which you can, it's not wrong. If you choose to pay the freight expense as separate and not part of the cost, you just put yourself in a hole for $350. Right? This is money that you'll never get back. Or the reason why I put it into miscellaneous expense because I could also put this as part of the total cost of my asset, right? Because a coffee brewer and a coffee grinder, they're fixed assets, aren't they? They're equipment for me to run and operate my business. So in this case, right, wouldn't you kind of categorize this as part of the total cost to get my asset to the store, but also to get it ready for service? And then that's where I ask the question, where is currently my coffee brewer and my coffee grinder? And this is where you say it's in the miscellaneous suspense. Yes. Yes, it's currently in my miscellaneous suspense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shipping cost and I'm going to dump it to miscellaneous suspense because that's currently where they are. And I'm going to use this as part of my cost of my fixed asset, my total cost of my fixed asset. Okay? So in this case, I'm going to dump it right into miscellaneous suspense. Okay? Right? And as we recognized before, right, it is COD, so I will be writing a check to pay for the shipping cost it took to ship me my coffee brewer and my coffee grinder. All right. So miscellaneous expense account once again should be $19,990, and my checking is $10,100. And for what total amount am I going to be writing this check out for?
350.
$350. Right? And let's go ahead and write that check first so we know exactly what check number to reference. Okay. So here we're using check number 1511. Right? We're writing the check out for $350, and this time it's going to go to Valley Delivery